Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Behind those cozy nights at home, thousands of employees at BP go to work every day. People producing more U.S. natural gas. People building grid-scale solar capacity. People turning landfill waste gas into pipeline-quality renewable natural gas. And people delivering all of that power where it's needed. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. Welcome to Holiday Stories. The Thanksgiving Lesson. The Parker family home bustled with smells of roasting turkey, cinnamon-sprinkled pies, and the savory tang of cranberry sauce simmering on the stove. 10-year-old Clara sat cross-legged on the living room rug, her arms crossed, her lips set in a pout. Beside her, on a patch of sunlit floor, her orange tabby cat, Marmalade, batted lazily at a stray thread dangling from Clara's sweater. "Clara," her mom called from the kitchen, "can you help set the table?" "Why do I have to do everything?" Clara huffed, pushing herself up dramatically. Marmalade meowed as if echoing her displeasure. "You don't have to do everything, sweetheart," her mom replied, poking her head around the corner. "But we all chip in to make Thanksgiving special. It's about being grateful, remember?" Clara rolled her eyes and stomped into the dining room. "Why should I be grateful? It's just another dinner where I have to help while the grown-ups talk, and the only fun part is over in 5 minutes when the pie's gone." Her mom sighed, but didn't press the issue. She had pies to watch, the arrival of Great-Grandma Mae was imminent, and a significant event requiring at least 36 additional tasks. Shortly after, the doorbell rang. Clara's dad answered it, his warm baritone greeting filling the house. "Grandma Mae, you made it!" Clara's 93-year-old great-grandmother shuffled in with the help of a cane. Her sharp blue eyes sparkled and her white curls peeked out from under a knit cap. Though her movements were slow, there was an undeniable energy about her. She carried a worn bag, which she clutched with both hands, like it contained a treasure. "Clara, come say hello to Great-Grandma Mae," her dad called. Clara reluctantly shuffled over, Marmalade trailing behind. "Hi, Great-Grandma," she mumbled. "Hello, Clara," Mae said with a knowing smile. "You look taller than last year. And is this your cat?" "Yeah, this is Marmalade," Clara said, brightening for a moment. Mae reached down to pet the cat, who purred instantly. "A fine friend you've got there," Mae said. She straightened up, her eyes locking onto Clara's. "Now, my dear, I brought something special for you." Mae opened her bag and carefully pulled out 3 small dolls. They were simple, made of cloth and yarn, their faces hand-painted. Their dresses were faded but still colorful, stitched with tiny flowers and lace. "These were my dolls when I was a little girl," Mae explained, setting them on the coffee table. "Their names are Lila, Beth, and Annie. I thought you might like to play with them while I'm here." Clara blinked at the dolls. "I'm too old for dolls," she said dismissively. Mae raised an eyebrow. Too old, you say? Well, perhaps they aren't too old for you. These dolls have a story to tell, you know. If you'll listen, I think they might teach you something important." Clara glanced skeptically at the dolls, but didn't argue. Something in Mae's tone suggested she'd hear about the dolls whether she liked it or not. Later that afternoon, when the grown-ups were busy in the kitchen, Mae called Clara over. Marmalade hopped onto the couch beside her as Mae picked up the doll named Lila. "This is Lila," Mae began. "When I was your age, my family didn't have much. We couldn't afford store-bought toys, so my mother made Lila for me out of scraps of cloth. I used to think she was the most beautiful doll in the world, even though her face was just stitched with thread back then. I was thankful for her because she was all I had." Clara looked at the doll's carefully embroidered features. "But it's just a doll. How can you be thankful for that?" Mae chuckled. "Let me show you." Mae told Clara about a cold winter when she was 8. Her family's crops had failed and they had little food. One night, as she held Lila, Mae decided to put on a pretend tea party to cheer her younger siblings up. She used bottle caps for plates and buttons for food. We laughed and laughed, Mae said. For a little while, we forgot about how hungry we were. Lila helped me bring a bit of joy to my family when we needed it most. Sometimes gratitude is about finding happiness in small things. Clara shifted uncomfortably. But you were still hungry. Yes, Mae said gently, but I learned that joy isn't always about having everything you want. It's about making the most of what you have. Clara glanced at Lila again, her expression softening a bit. Mae picked up the second doll, Beth. Now, Beth was my companion when I felt lonely. There weren't many kids in my neighborhood, so I'd make up stories with Beth, pretending she was my best friend. One summer, my cousin Charlotte visited, and she didn't have any toys of her own, so I gave Beth to her. You gave her away? Clara asked, incredulous. Mae nodded. It was hard, but Charlotte was so happy. Seeing her smile made me realize how wonderful it feels to share what you have. Gratitude isn't just about appreciating things, it's about giving, too. Clara thought about the way she guarded her favorite toys when her cousins came over. She didn't like the idea of sharing, but something about Mae's story made her think differently. Finally, Mae held up Annie. Annie came to me when I was a teenager. By then, I didn't play with dolls much, but my little sister Violet loved her. One Thanksgiving, Violet fell ill and couldn't come to the table. I gave her Annie to keep her company. Every time I saw Violet hugging that doll, I was reminded of how thankful I was to have my family, even when things weren't perfect. Clara's gaze dropped to Marmalade, who was curled up in her lap. She stroked his fur absent-mindedly. So, being thankful isn't just about stuff? It's about people? Mae smiled. Exactly. Things come and go, Clara, but the people we love, they're what matter most, and sometimes showing them we're thankful makes all the difference. Clara sat quietly for a long time, her thoughts swirling. She looked at the dolls and then at Mae, whose hands were gently stroking Lila's faded dress. I never thought about it like that, Clara admitted. I guess I've been kind of selfish. Mae patted Clara's hand. You're young. That's what growing up is for, learning. The good news is it's never too late to change. Clara nodded. Thanks, Great-Grandma. I think I get it now. That evening, as the family gathered around the table, Clara's mom brought out the turkey. The table was overflowing with food, but Clara's attention wasn't on the feast. It was on the people around her. After dinner, Clara helped clear the table without being asked. She brought Mae a slice of pumpkin pie and sat down beside her. You know, Great-Grandma, Clara said, her voice soft, I'm really thankful for you, and for Mom and Dad and everyone else. I don't say it enough, but I really am. Mae's eyes glistened as she reached over and pulled Clara into a hug. And I'm thankful for you, Clara. You made my Thanksgiving very special. Marmalade jumped onto the armrest, purring loudly as if to agree. For the first time, Clara understood what Thanksgiving was truly about. Not the food, not the decorations, but the love and gratitude that bound her family together. And for that, she was deeply thankful. Happy Thanksgiving. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science, take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at grencoscience.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network original. Visit roguemedianetwork.com to find your new favorite show.